Over the world.
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 I warmly welcome you to my new channel, and I hope with all my heart that you will have a good time here. And if you feel fun while watching my channel, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. This new channel was opened for 2 reasons. The first, to make you feel entertained, learn, have fun and discover new things. Second, to help my parents pay for my university studies. Thanks for your time.
The happiness we experience when watching movies is valued as much as the state of imagination we move into, where the viewer unites with the story, the heroes and the time of events. But the pleasure of watching increases when cinema transmits inspiring stories from history, to become an enjoyable reality and inspiring lessons. And in her report, published by the Indian moviesdrop, writer Shraya Fayed said that the following list offers 10 inspirational and motivational films based on true stories that may help you get to know inspiring people who were outstanding, who broke all restrictions and lived on their terms and they never give up. In this video, we will present 10 inspirational and motivational films based on true stories. 1. Saving Private Ryan, 1998. Saving Private Ryan is based on the Normandy invasion in World War II. The film depicts how a battalion of soldiers sets out to find their missing comrade, Private Ryan, who lost his 3 brothers in the war. Surrounded by enemies and desperate to save Ryan, they each discover the power to overcome their own fears. 2. Patch Adams, 1998. Patch Adams tells the story of a fisherman named Peter Adams, who suffers from manic depression in a mental hospital. After a long struggle, Adams decides to open his medical clinic and obtains admission to the Medical University of Virginia, but he does not agree to the methods of caring for patients, and then opens, with the help of a wealthy friend willing to invest in his project, a clinic for those who do not have medical insurance. 3. October Sky, 1999. October Sky tells the story of John Hickam, a simple West Virginia coal miner who wants his 2 sons to follow in his footsteps, only to discover that they are both very intelligent. The first kid, Jim, gets a football scholarship, and the second, Homer, becomes obsessed with rocket science after seeing Sputnik 1. 4. A Beautiful Mind, 2001. A Beautiful Mind tells the true story of John Forbes Nash's life, mixed with the autobiography of the same name as the movie by Sylvia Nasser. The film depicts everything John went through in his life, from his successes to his failures. John had made an amazing discovery very early in his life, and he was on the verge of becoming internationally known. 5. Catch Me If You Can, 2002. History knew one person who was able to practice various professions even before he reached the age of 18, and that is Frank Abagnale, who embodied his life in the movie Catch Me If You Can. He was skilled in forging checks and certificates, and deception was in his blood. Abagnale became the most successful bank robber in U.S. history. In this movie, FBI agent Carl Hanratty tries to catch Frank, who was always one step ahead of him. 6. Hotel Rwanda, 2004. Based on a true story about the Rwandan genocide, Hotel Rwanda tells the story of Paul Rusesabagina, who runs a hotel in Hutu and leads a normal life with his wife and 3 children. Paul's life changes when a Hutu militia takes on the task of purging the Tutsi minority. After Paul witnessed the genocide, he allowed the refugees to stay in his hotel and rescued as many of them as possible, but problems increased when the United Nations withdrew from the area, leaving him alone in the face of Hutu militias. 7. The Aviator, 2004. The movie The Aviator highlights successful people who struggle with a lot of problems, including stress. It tells the story of the billionaire aviation pioneer Howard Hughes, who, despite his possessions, suffered from phobias and depression, and the more success he achieved, the greater his fears. 8. Coach Carter, 2005. Coach Carter tells the story of Ken Carter, who returns to his old high school in Richmond to coach the basketball team. Kane succeeded, but then the players' grades began to drop. After receiving a backlash from parents and authorities, Kane refused to participate in the championship season, deciding that the players should excel on the field of play and at school as well. 9. The Pursuit of Happiness, 2006. One of the most emotional films ever made, The Pursuit of Happiness is inspired by the story of Chris Gardner, a single and unemployed father who has to look after his child. After being evicted from their apartment, the father and his child search for shelter in the shelters, queuing for bread and a bed to sleep, while at the same time repeatedly pursuing his dream, but encountering many obstacles during his journey. 10. The Road to Glory, 2006. The movie Glory Road dates back to 1966, when racism was prevalent in many parts of the United States, as new coach Don Haskins arrives for the Texas Miners, who believes in talent over race. Despite the controversy that this coach roused in the city, he managed to win the admiration of the public when the team put up a great performance on the field. But when black player Bobby Joe Hill and captain Harry Flournoy attempt to gain control of their other teammates, the team's future is in jeopardy.